Three, two, one. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my name is Amal. And joining me tonight, I have Mus, Carl, Andy, and George. And we are the real Monday Blues. The Monday Blues are back for the first time in a long time. The Baggers lost to the Adelaide Crows, a winless team for 2024 up until they decided to turn it up and turn it on against us. We lost 14-98 to 16-4-100 at a packed Marvel Stadium. Now, I wasn't able to go, but the rest of the crew was there, and it was certainly packed. It was the Baggers always pack out Marvel Stadium, and it's really, really good to see. But the result did not go our way, I'm afraid. Lot to dissect, lot to talk about, lot to get through. But before we kick off, let's go around the grounds and just see how everyone felt after Saturday Arvo. Muls, I'll start with you.
I probably couldn't get a word out, and I think most of the boys probably had the same effect. We sort of walked out and no one said a word. I don't know. I'm still sort of a little bit on that wavelength. It's really disappointing. Obviously, there's a lot to talk about and a lot to get through, but it's kind of like just silence, actually, at the end of the game. I don't know. Carl, do you feel the same? I don't know.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty. Look, to Adelaide's credit, they wanted it more. We should have won, but everything went right for them, and they deserve it. Yeah, it didn't feel good. I mean, 4-0, hoping we'd been 5-0, but it is what it is. Georgie?
Yeah, it was. I think it set the tone after the game, and even our group chat after. I think everyone was just down, right? Everyone was just coming down off a wild ride, and I said it was like 203 days since we last felt a loss, not counting the preseason and stuff, but 203 days since we last felt a loss, and it was an odd, eerie feeling. It's frustrating because we make them look good every year. Right?
Every year.
We make them look good. Certain players look good every single year. And, there's a lot of woulda, shoulda, coulda, but we didn't. So at the end of the day, and it wasn't just one sole player or two sole players to blame. It was a team effort. But this loss has been brewing for a while. I'll just say that. I was wary in the preview. I didn't want to, vocalize it or make it seem that, I wasn't confident because we should have won, but I was wary, and this loss, just based on the way sometimes we're playing some passages of play and some quarters of footy, I think it's been brewing. So, Andy?
I think you said something there, like you said it was brewing, it was coming. You're eventually going to lose a close one. You keep putting yourself in a position where you're winning you're going to put yourself in a position where you're going to lose, right? Can't win them all. I'm not throwing the baby out with the bathwater just yet, as they say.
I did.
Yeah, I'm not too worried. Yeah, shit, we lost. You're gonna lose. Carry on, move on. I'm more concerned with our injuries now. Yeah, system based, next man up, all that, but 2 hamstrings in one game. It's we're always doing a calf, we're always doing a hammy. That's what I'm worried about. That's what I'm upset about. It's always those soft tissue injuries.
Basically 3 hammies.
We'll talk about that.
Oh yeah, Chera as well. Yeah, 3. Yeah.
Before I ask my next question, Amal, how did you feel watching it?
We were let's start, right? We were 3 goals up in the last quarter. 3 goals up.
6 minutes, I think.
16 points.
16 points.
With 6 minutes to go, and we bottled it.
Mm-hmm.
We absolutely bottled it. Adelaide, the whole game were way too easily moving the ball around with so much freedom, and I don't know how they were able to do that because our pressure was up there. I thought the best part of our game on Saturday against the Crows was our pressure. Our pressure was fantastic, but I don't even know where to begin. I've lost one baby already because I threw it out with the bathwater, as Andy said.
So I don't think it's that. I think we're like, this is the thing with Carlton supporters. We overreact either way. And I'm guilty of this. The lid was off, mate. The lid was off when we beat Gold Coast last year. But it's one loss. It's a long season. Just chill out.
Yeah,
I don't get why we're stressing.
I'll tell you why we're stressing. And you hit the nail on the head, Andy. We've got 8 injuries of our best 22 that are out. We've got 8 players of our best 22 out, not playing.
Yep.
That's why I'm stressing. We lost the 4 points. It is what it is. We move on. Hopefully, we can learn from that. Hopefully. But 8 of our best 22 are out. And
we're
potentially for a long period of time.
And I said in the preview, like, it's scary how our list is piling up. And Moose said, you said the one thing I don't want to see is more injuries. I think you nailed it there as well. But going back to what I wanted to ask, and it's a topic that has been discussed for years, I think, internally within the club. Not as much when we're doing really well, but when you've got 5 hammies, a lot of soft tissue injuries, players that are injured with other injuries, getting hamstring injuries or soft tissue injuries. Now the list is starting to look pretty scary, right? We've yet to field our best 22 at all. The club were vocal that 1 month into opening round, they had a really, really tough block, and for whatever reason that might be, obviously they got to buy early in the season and whatnot. And this is not like a dig at Andrew Russell or anyone in particular, any individual, but there's a whole fitness department, strength and conditioning department. Should questions be asked?
Yes.
Is it valid to ask some questions?
Yes, it happens freaking every year. Every year. Jack Martin's missing for half the year every year. Every year. It's the same culprits that are always doing sort of your hammies and your calves and this and that. David Cunningham, Adam Shearer. Saad, I think, is probably the only one in that list that hasn't copped an injury in so long, and now here he is as well. Is this the result of a ridiculously hard training block? Did that 1 week off do anything? Probably not. I think it's about time we have to ask questions. And for those watching along, we've got quite a few on watching us. Welcome to the real Monday Blues after a loss, after our first loss in a long time. Let us know in the chat. Do we start asking questions?
I think everyone can tell I'm definitely not the fitness guru in this group. Moose is Mr. Fitness. He's got a bit of a valid. No, but in general, if anyone's got any views on it, I think it's good just to understand and say, and see, is there any input, like from a medical perspective, and like none of us know at the end of the day internally within the club and the training regime and whatnot. But I feel like it's concerning 1 month into the season. You've got this many soft tissue injuries, right? And there's no ideal point in the season. It's not like, it would be better towards the end and, or before finals or at the start, get him out of the way. It doesn't work like that. Like if you're training a preseason and then all of a sudden your team is incapacitated by 25% or 30% of your best 22, it's pretty concerning.
Yeah.
I'm more concerned with our defensive structure because we keep copying goals the exact same way, week in, week out, and it's like we're not learning, and we've gotten away with it in the past, but Tex, Rankin, and the Carlton Football Club owner, Ben Keys, just absolutely towed us up in the way we know. Like, it's all right to lose to a way to what you don't know, but it's inexcusable to lose in a way that you know. These teams are scoring against you like this. Why do we keep getting sucked in up the ground? How many times was Wiedering off Tex by 25 meters, 20 meters?
He was up on the wing.
We're pushing up. They're pushing up a lot.
We just keep getting sucked in. I don't know if that's directive from our side to move so high up the ground, or sorry, I don't know if it's the opposition just being able to work us out and work us up the ground, because we just keep getting exposed on the way back. And we've complained about this for 2 years. We've said we keep copying. We give up the easiest goals. We work so hard. Carl says this every single game. We work so hard for our goals and we concede them the other way just so easily. And it's very frustrating when we lose. When you win, the 4 points masks it up a bit.
Do you think it's a lot to do with the midfield not being accountable?
Potentially. Potentially.
Because I see a lot of one-way runners. I don't, other than Akers, I don't see much from the midfield chopping out the back line at all.
Kennedy did really well on the weekend.
Walsh.
Walsh was fine, and we'll talk about Walsh because
I don't think our problem is the midfield, honestly, Mus. I think it's more our defenders just getting caught up ball watching. Unless it's a directive, I can't understand why they would. Just like you said, how many times Weeder's on the wing? And his direct opponent is 25 meters behind him with a paddock behind him. Like,
yeah.
Do you reckon it's a new game plan that they're?
Yeah.
It has to be a
100%.
directive because it keeps happening.
Yeah. There was a period in the fourth quarter where the commentators on Fox Footy were talking about it as well, where Carlton are really trying to lock Adelaide in their defensive 50 and try and score from that. That must be the reason why all of our defense is pushing up onto the wings to stop that exit ball, and that's probably why it's happening. But to Andy's point, right, we get found out. A few balls down the corridor, and bang, we've got key forwards in Isaac Rankin, who absolutely destroyed us in the forward line, especially in the fourth quarter, who's wide open. So many times he was without the man. There was one particular moment in the fourth quarter which really shit me up the wall, which was when I think it was Tex sent it into our forward line. It was literally just on the boundary. The two Carlton defenders, I think it was Kemp and Newey, went for it. None of them touched it. It bounced. Well, Fogarty got it, kicked it into, who was it? Dawson, who kicked the goal, and that kind of started that was the first of the 3 goals that finished us off.
What if you watch that slower? Newman got called out as well. It was Kemp and someone else, I think, because Newman
was Kemp and Williams.
Kemp and Williams, and there was a bit of miscommunication in terms of who's going to take the mark or whatnot. Again, you take that mark, take your 30 seconds, you slow down the play and whatnot. Newman let Fogarty sort of run. It's not an individual dig because there's a ton of players that had moments. And they all
Fogarty didn't play. Why does everyone keep saying Fogarty?
No, they're Fogarty.
Adelaide. So Newman let Fogarty run off him, and he sort of walked to the contest. Ball spills. Fogarty gets it, kicked it to Rankin. But again, Kemp had moments that he'd want to take again.
So did Newman.
So did Harry. So did Owies. Yeah. It wasn't. I don't want to Owies copped it a lot, right? I heard a lot of flack for Owies during the game after the siren and in the days past and stuff like that. Very different story if you kick that goal. He kicked that goal. Allegedly, that was touch as well.
That was not touched.
Yeah, and I guess that was the AFL world was sort of screaming karma after that and keen to touch on that. But he had to stub his toe or stub his foot in the ground that particular moment. But again, to squarely put the blame on him is it's not fair. Like he's got Harry running at full tilt. Regulation mark. He marks that. Charlie a minute later. There's so many passages. It's just none of these players took that moment. It was just it just wasn't meant to be.
That's the thing. That's exactly right. We've spoken in the past about players taking their moments, and that's what's got us over the line. Nobody took their moments. Everybody stuffed up.
Good point.
So, great point.
You know what hurts the most, though, is it's always these games that we should win. And honestly, we probably should have won comfortably, 14-14. But it's always these games where we tend to start playing like the opposition's level. Mus always says it. And
there was a lot of that, actually.
And we enjoy losing these ones, I guess.
Nah, just Adelaide Football Club own us.
So
That's all it is. We can't beat the Crows.
Ben Keys got home, took his car keys out, and took the keys to the Carlton Footy Club out. Put him on the bench there.
He absolutely owns us. Just every time he plays us, and we said this in the preview, he just has his way with us every single time. So it's annoying. It's just annoying, right? So
the worst thing for me, sorry, Andy, is that I watched Ben Keys a fair bit. He didn't have a direct opponent half the time. It was just switching between Kemp, Assad initially, then Kemp, and then I saw Williams go to him a little bit. I saw who else?
He quietened down when Kennedy
Cottrell went to him.
Kennedy got to him as well.
Then Kennedy.
and every time Kennedy was on him, he actually quelled him. He did all right. I think when look, it's a frustrating result. But I think the most important thing and the thing that cost us the most was 14-14.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we can talk about long bombs, and everyone's complaining about our long bombs. And so, Amal, I know this is your pet peeve.
My pet peeve, yep.
But we had 28 scoring shots. So we can't say that it didn't work. 28 scoring shots. But when you kick 14-14, you shot yourself in the foot right there.
Yeah. It's how we're entering the forward 50 though. Like a lot of those scoring shots of the goals that we kicked, they were within 30 meters, I believe. The rest of them were all closer to the 50 and out on ridiculous angles. They're going to be harder to kick than most. If you look at Adelaide's set shots when they went into their forward 50, they were all 30 meters or closer and quite direct to the goal. The way that Adelaide was entering into the forward line with the likes of Tex Walker, who's probably bigger than Harry Mackay and Charlie Kerner, right? Size-wise, height-wise, maybe just slightly. But they were hitting up Tex Walker on the lead.
Massive.
They were hitting up Tex Walker on the lead, right? Harry's fitter, faster. Why can't we hit Harry on the lead?
I can tell you why.
Why can't we hit Charlie Kerner on the lead? Because the directive, it is so clear, and it was so ridiculously clear against Adelaide. The directive is few, handballs in and around the stoppage, get it out to the on either side, and then once you're clear, go for it. Just send it in because we have Harry Mackay and Charlie Kerno in the forward line. They'll go up for the pack mark. And someone in the comments mentioned that our forwards are total rubbish. Nazi mentioned that our small forwards are total rubbish, and I somewhat agree.
Hiding behind the goalpost.
Yeah, they're never front and center. They're never in the right spots. They're always missing. Time and time again, they might pop up. But you look around, you look at some of the other small forwards around the competition. Look at what they're doing compared to what our guys are doing.
I don't think they're rubbish. I just think there needs to be better education because when they get the ball, they do all right. But it's just getting the ball.
They don't want to go.
I don't think Always is rubbish. Always has had his chances and he takes his chances 8 times out of 10, right? It's just our setup. We're so focused on Charlie and Harry that maybe our smalls also get sucked into that. So the worst thing for me that I saw on the weekend was I think when Harry went up for a mark, Fantasia spoiled him.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah.
Like they both went up. Yeah.
It was like, bro, you're not the guy. Like, Orazio, I love you. You're not the guy, bro.
You're not him.
When Harry's going for the ball, just let him mark it. And again, that might have been a miscommunication. And look, there were so many things wrong on Saturday. Like, we can even go back to the selection table. Why the fuck is Pitternet coming in for Chera?
Facts.
Why is he coming in for anyone?
Like, did we get ahead of ourselves and think that Adelaide was going to be a walkover? Is that what the coaching thought was? Like,
yeah, give Pitternet a run.
This is a massive, massive, massive reality check, right? I was speaking to our friend Morris earlier today, and he said something that was so spot on. In the dying, I think it was the dying moments. It could have been a bit earlier. We kicked it long, and Charlie was there, right? We kicked it to Charlie. Pitto dragged Rolly O'Brien with him to stand next to Charlie Kerner. Get the fuck in the goal square, bro. Like, what are you doing 35, 40 meters out? Like, you've got a forward there. You got our key forwards there. Let them do that, and you just stand on the goal line. That's all we ask of you when you're in the 50. Like, don't drag the opposition ruckman to the contest because it's just going to dead it. And he's proven now that he is not, apart from his tap work, I don't know what his numbers were. I don't give a fuck what his numbers were. No. He's hit outs. I don't care
not great.
What his hit outs.
TDK had it over him.
Yeah. So for me, I don't care about hit outs, right? For me, I love what TDK brings around the ground, right? Pitto brings nothing around the ground.
He stands in the middle of the ground.
I was going to say, he didn't leave the square. He didn't leave the square. He was labouring.
There you go. Like,
5 years.
He's a liability. He's a
Yeah.
liability. Hey, if TDK goes down with injury, God forbid, sweet, bring him in.
That's the only time he should come in.
But TDK's been doing all right. The Harry and TDK thing has been working. You can't bring someone who's slowing you down. And look, I don't know if we won the clearances or not.
No.
But
Oh, sorry.
okay. So we did
it was on par pretty much.
Okay. Well, that's probably an improvement. So that's probably maybe a Pito thing. His tap work does give us that. But
It's around the ground.
around the ground, he's not good. He's just not good. Right? And I don't want to shit on the bloke because, you know, he's an AFL
on the board.
footballer.
He's on the board.
He's an AFL footballer, and we're just sitting here. We don't know nothing, bro. We're just 5 Arabs talking shit about footy, right? So good on you, Peter. You're in the AFL. But come on, man. If we're 5 dumb Arabs just noticing this, surely the coaching staff has a look and says, all right, maybe he's not the guy. Maybe he's not the one to take us to that next step. That's what I'm pissed off about. How are you going to drop Chera for his injury? Sorry. How are you going to lose Chera and not bring in Run? Like you made yourself slower against the team that is quite quick, who moves the ball quite well. The only thing Adelaide was doing a lot right. The only thing they weren't doing right was finishing their work. They weren't scoring goals previous to this game. So all we did was we allowed them to just have a free players over the back. That's what we do. So they were always going to score. We let teams score. It's almost like we're happy to be in a shootout week in, week out. Freo was the only team that said, no, we're not having that. So I think
of their game plan.
It's good that we back ourselves. We should back ourselves to win a shootout because we do have Charlie. We do have Harry. They're capable of kicking 8 or 9, 10 goals between them a game. So we will do all right in the shootout. But I don't know, man. Bringing Pito in, to me, that's not a winning move. To me, that doesn't add any spice to your team. That takes it away. You got Jackson Binns. Give him a go, man. I don't know who else was emergency, but I was really hoping Jackson Binns will get a go, and I'm slightly dirty that we didn't. And look, we still trust the system. We have to trust it, right? It hasn't let us down. So one loss is one loss. If we beat GWS and Geelong in the next 2 weeks, we're not talking about this game. All right? So, yeah. I don't know. That Pito
just to that quickly, just to that bringing in Pitternet also, I don't know if you want to call it, it also made Pitternet have Tom de Koning have a shit game.
Yeah. Yeah.
It caused that because same with Harry.
Yeah, we threw him out.
Yeah, Harry's getting the ball. Harry's, and now all of a sudden there's another tall. So Harry's not really needed.
It ruined a lot.
I'm just getting animated. A lot. Sorry, I'm just getting cut. I'm really passionate about Pito.
Has anybody noticed that? Maybe it's to what you said, Andy, with our backline sort of pushing so far up in whatever sort of zone press that we've got going on or whatever it is, but our forward line is just too congested.
Always. There's half the ground,
all the players are in our forward 50.
And how much space?
And the other team, like Adelaide.
Yeah, but that comes down to bombing it because they're all in the same place.
Everyone knows. The whole competition knows.
They're coming in long.
Yeah. Roseville Football Club knows if they were to play us, they know exactly how to defend us. Because all we're going to do is send it long. They know that Harry and Charlie are probably going to spoil each other, and if they don't, we'll just put 6 defenders on them, and we're good.
Yeah.
Their small forwards are non-evident; they're not going to be there. So our small defenders, our halfbacks, will just rove it and off.
Yeah.
One thing I noticed that, and it wasn't just like Kemp done it a lot. It was a bit of a culprit, but Weeder's done it a bit. Harry done it a bit. It was a few players on the side misjudging the timing of the ball drop and committing too early, and then causing you to overstretch, bringing it to ground or missing it and stuff like that. There was a lot of those contests where it was just misjudging the flight of the ball. It was a bit frustrating. And it might be from delivery, yes, but it looked like as they were coming under it, you could see them overrun it, misjudge the time of the ball. It happened a lot. I'm just watching. I haven't watched the replay because I was just a bit too annoyed. But on the day, you kept seeing it. It was just either the fumbles or the mistiming. It was. And when you're kicking into the forward 50, you're not putting it to the advantage. And I guess that's where you miss Chera a bit. Chera gives you that.
Poise.
Seeing Walsh come back and drop some
Walsh is
to the
huge.
chest of Charlie and Harry were good, but we need more of that.
Yeah, but look, speaking of Walshy, great game, obviously. Like
Amazing game.
amazing to have him back. Did well. He really had to work into that game because for the first quarter and a bit, he's just throwing it on the boot, and that's the Walsh special. Yeah, we know that. Just chucks it on the boot and goes long. It wasn't until probably late second, early third, where he started to really take his time with the ball, and then we started to see what Walsh's worth actually is. Right? There's no point having 13 touches if they're all just snap around the corner. But it was great to have Walshy back. Our midfield
He'll get
looks
better and better.
sturdier. Yeah.
He'll get better and better. He won't be.
Yeah.
You'll see maybe even next game, Walsh will probably come in and not look at those, boot the ball kicks or anything like that. He'll probably start hitting targets on his chest very, very quickly.
Yeah, he was very fumbly early, and you put it down to rust. You put it down to just missing some games. So
exactly,
it's just awesome to have him back. He just brings an energy to the team.
He had 5 more tackles than any other player. He had 13 tackles for a bloke that had a crook back.
Hey, that's someone who had 30 odd disposals as well. Yeah,
34 touches, 13 tackles, massive.
Hasn't played since last year.
It's
there
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Now, I'm of a different opinion where I don't think our midfield's delivery, whilst it's shit at the moment, I don't know if all of the blame can be laid upon the midfield's ability to send in low and sharp kicks. I think our forward line doesn't know how to run or present a lead or anything like that.
There's no space. There's no space. I don't know if you go back to look at the replays. There's no space.
They clog up the forward, right? They clog up the running space for our key forwards.
Yes.
And then it becomes a pack. It becomes a contest every single time.
That's why it ends up getting bombed in.
Yeah.
And
because
we
when
rely
the
too much on
opportunity
talent.
presented itself, like for example, Walsh hitting Colonel on the chest, when the opportunity presented itself, he'd find it. I'm sure our midfield will be able to find it. There was I think before gather round, Chera hit Kennedy on the chest, lace out, right, and just missed the other team's defender. They've got the ability. These guys are professionals, right? At the end of the day, they can kick it to someone's chest from 30, 40, 50 meters out, no problems. It's a matter of our forward line getting themselves in the right position. And not just our key forwards, right? Not just Harry and Charlie and TDK if he's up there, but our small forwards creating the space for them to run into, right? Use yourself as a diversion and then work your way back in should there be a contest.
Jack Martin was fantastic at that. His smarts and ability to get free, next to none.
When he plays.
When he plays.
Can I? I've mentioned this before. Charlie hates kicking it to Harry, and look, I don't. There has to be something there. There has to be an issue there because he had Harry open, right? But he did this little dinky outside of the foot kick. He literally kicked a banana away from Harry just to not kick it to Harry. No, we ended up getting a goal out of it. So it worked.
The Durden one.
Yeah, it worked.
Yeah.
Sweet. I mean, very lucky.
Very lucky.
But I wonder, and again, you don't really think it's an issue when you're winning, but when you lose, these little cracks
Sticks out like a sore
right?
thumb.
They stick out, right? And so it's easier to kind of be reminded of these things. And I've found this for a while now, and I've mentioned it before in previous episodes. I'd love to know if there was an issue between the two, because he hates kicking it to him. He hates it. It's almost like it's like he gets frustrated that he's only got Harry up there. I don't know. He would turn around. He was smack always on the chest 50 away. But when it comes to Harry, he's just very hesitant. I don't know. Maybe it's just me overthinking things, and I hope I'm wrong. I hope they get along. I hope they kick back, and
Call the club tomorrow. Hey, are the
Do
boys
we-
all right? They're kicking back.
Do you need me to come have a chat to them or
Come
what?
past my place. Have a mediation session.
Come to the bottle of Pascal, have a shot of
Do we
tequila.
do we need another bonfire session? Is the actual question. Do we need another nudie run? Because
Yeah, I don't know.
I
Look at
reckon
us
we need
after
one.
one loss.
Well, this is the thing. Yeah, this is what I said before. Carlton fans, we overreact. We're very heightened, and this club has scarred us over the years, right?
well, that's what it is. We've been scarred, right? So
It's PTSD. Yeah.
since the Gold Coast game last year, right? We've built a wall around the PTSD, right?
Mm.
Win by win, brick by brick, everything like that. And then all of a sudden, whilst the Brisbane game in the prelim did nothing, right? We were all ecstatic. We were on borrowed time there. It was fantastic. But this Adelaide game was one that we should have won. We should have won comfortably. Maybe not by 10 goals or anything like that, but we still should have won by a couple of goals and gotten out of it relatively unscathed, which we didn't. We got injuries and this and that, yada, yada, yada. For me personally, this has really brought down at least one wall, at least. Because the same thing happened last year. And that's what my mind keeps going back to, is the fact that this happened last year. Sam Walsh came in, had a great game. We lost to Adelaide, and then everything just fell
Went to
apart.
shit.
Went to shit. And, you know, you can't help but think, look, we've got this bloke and this bloke and this bloke with hammies, and then the next three are missing their big toes, and then this guy doesn't have a leg, and we're playing with people that are, you know, we're relying on people to come back in who are injured. Like, I know that we're expecting David Cunningham back this week. I know that we're expecting Motlop back this week, and Marchbank, but they're going to be rusty. And we're coming up against GWS. And then let's not even talk about our next run of games. 6 or 7 weeks of ridiculously tough games against sides that are vying.
I'm
for
not
finals.
scared.
I'm 100% scared. Don't tell me you're not scared.
Nope, I'm not scared.
Hard.
No way, bro.
Hard.
What are you afraid of?
Losing. What do you mean? What am I afraid of?
Okay, but we're gonna lose games during the year, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
we've got a
if
tough run coming up, though.
Yeah, it's a very tough run.
It's a tough run, but we're
Yeah.
capable. We're more than capable.
Yeah, I think the injuries make it a bit.
With our best 22, yeah. 8 of
I'm
our
not
best 22 are out.
Yeah.
8 of our best 22. It's almost half.
Yeah, look, I'm not. I don't know. I'm not. I'm
Look,
not,
if we
I'm
get
actually not
belted-
stressed.
If we get belted this week, I think hit the panic button.
Bonfire session every week. Work it out.
Yeah.
Mm.
Bring back Ed.
I'm waiting till this. I'm waiting till this Saturday before I smack the button.
It would be interesting to know what everyone else thinks. We've got a few people on. Let us know in the comments. Is there anything else that you picked up in the game that we haven't already talked about? Things that really got under your skin about the way that we were playing, maybe a particular player, a particular individual, a specific scenario in the game that really got under your skin. Let us know in the comments if there is anything that we
Was it a
might have
goal?
missed.
Answer that one. Was it a goal?
Definitely a goal.
Doesn't
But
matter.
Kemp
Doesn't
needs to learn
matter.
how to mark the ball. Him and his cute always trying to take a
Oh
speaky.
my god,
just mark
does
the
my
ball,
head
kick
in,
back
bro. He did it
He always
against
drops
Richmond.
them.
He did it against Richmond.
against
He done
Freo
it one
and against
other
Adelaide.
time. Yes, bro. Just mark the
kick back.
fucking ball.
Yeah,
Just either don't just spoil it, or stop trying to take mark of the year every week.
in the back line.
Hard.
Does Lewis Young almost come back for him?
No,
Well, Lewis Young might come in if Marchbank doesn't get up. It's Lewis
Yeah.
Young.
Has to
surely
be.
Marchbank's ready.
Mm.
Surely.
Well, didn't he get an injury while he was recovering from concussion protocols?
I heard
I
that.
think he
Yeah.
sneezed.
He's back?
Sneezed.
Who?
Marchbank.
Marchbank sneezed.
Yeah.
Broke a nipple.
So Chincotta's coming back definitely. I'm glad with that.
Broken nipple, is that
Hopefully.
what someone said?
Hmm.
Yeah, good times ahead, boys. We
It'll be fine. 4-1. We'll be fine. We'll be
week,
fine.
week by week.
Yeah, I'm
Week by
not.
week.
Like I said, I'm not
Yeah.
stressed. A lot went right on the weekend as well.
Yeah.
But when it mattered, we cooked it. We just bottled, right? And like Georgie said earlier, we didn't take our chances to ice the game. We didn't take our moments in the last 5 or so minutes. But we're up by 16 points, 6 minutes left. You should win that game. That's why I'm not that stressed. Injuries happen, man. You know, and if we're really that good, and we're the real deal, as we all think we are, then you know what? We just take it in our stride and we man up and next man up and That's it. We take on GWS and we win. So, look, I'm not stressed. I'm actually like, I've had so many customers come in today and they're like, all losing their minds. I'm like, just chill. It's one game. It's one game. And the injuries are going to come. Injuries are going to come for every team. I'd rather cop them now than in round 23 or in the prelim. You know?
GWS got a few injuries as well this week. So
Sam Taylor, Caniglio.
So
Sam Taylor's arguably the best.
Two very good players.
100%.
Two great players.
Yeah,
100%.
How about just the 5 or 6 seconds of emotional roller coaster in the fourth when you've got the ball being bombed long, Harry sprinting. I've never seen him sprint that fast in my life. You know, everyone with bated breath drops the chest mark. Oh, he was going at full pelt. You see Owies, right? There's all of a sudden there's a groan. There's excitement because Owies got it. He looks like he's being tackled. He gets out of it. There's just that worry, that fear. Then you're like, this is it. This is the moment. I've never felt an up and down in that 5 or 6 seconds in my life. And then stubs his toe. But that roller coaster of 6 seconds was insane.
Did you have to make us relive that? I don't get it.
It's all I was thinking about. Like when I watched it back, it was. And again, I don't want to single. I don't want to single them out. I don't want to because there was multiple people who didn't take their moments. But
that was bad.
When you like that, you can't even script that. That passage of play was insane. Was absolutely insane. So, and again, it just takes one moment. It takes Harry to take a chest mark, take his 30. It takes Owies to kick a score, not even a goal, kick a score, man.
That drop mark in the back line.
That Kempon was a bad drop.
Yep.
The thing is,
Charlie could have taken a mark about a minute later as well.
Charlie as well, yeah.
The thing with that drop mark, and we're going back again. Dead the fucking ball, make it go out, do something. But I don't know, man.
There was the McGovern. There was the McGovern's ball as well. There's moments. There's so many moments that we can talk about, right?
Hey, Rankin's a gun.
Yeah, freak.
Yeah,
Isaac Rankin, absolute star. Ben Keys, absolute star. Tex Walker played the best game he's played in fucking 3 years. Right? Things went Adelaide's way, right? So you gotta take that into account as well. Things just didn't go our way, and the week before against Freo, things went our way. So you just gotta cop it every now and again. If we're gonna play that contested, that slow, close games, you got to cop a hit in the face every now and again. If that's what we want to do, if that's how we're going to box, expect to get hit in the chin.
but why? My question is, why are we playing this game style when we've got the class in the midfield? We're not like we haven't got shit midfielders yet. We've got elite midfielders and Walsh, Cripps, Kennedy's good, Hewitt's good, Chera when he's in. Like, why are we playing this game style where we're not having free-flowing footy and link-ups and running through the mids and hitting guys lace out? I don't know.
Well, teams have probably figured us out in that. Block the midfield, and this is what stuffed us last year. Plug the midfield, and Carlton can't run. Simple. That's what Freo did, and that tied us right up.
And now you lose Saad and McGovern.
All the run from the back line.
Yeah.
And again, not knocking Pitto, but you bring in Pitto, not another runner, and all of a sudden you're automatically going to be outpaced.
They should put a couch in the middle of the ground for Pitto.
That done my head in, man. Pitto inclusion just made no sense, and like I don't want to talk about it again, but
Come on, Kaz, he kicked the goal, Kaz.
He did. He
It
did.
was good.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah.
Good job.
It's enough out of you, George.
Imagine he stays in. Imagine he stays in.
He probably will, because you can't just bring him in for 1 week. You just can't.
Maybe it was an error. Maybe they made a mistake. Tick that box to bring Fido in. Someone it was supposed to be Bins.
Yeah. Yeah.
It'd be good to
Good point by Petra. Sorry, bro. Nobody is really having free flowing footy today. It's very defensive, and mostly it is. If you look at the best teams, they've been quite close games, close-ish. There haven't been really many blowouts when good teams play each other.
Fremantle,
Don't be
Geelong.
fooled. Again, don't be fooled. Adelaide's not a bad team. Everyone's like, oh, they're 4-0, 4-0. They've played serious opposition, and they just couldn't get their scoring right. Everything else was working great. They had a lot to work with. So I don't take this loss as like, oh, we lost to a shit side. Nah, we didn't lose to a shit side. We lost to a quality side that will still contend for the 8. I wholeheartedly believe they'll be thereabouts again.
They owe us.
There's a lot on our chests after the Adelaide game, and rightly so. And I reckon there'd be quite a few watching along that might have something to get off their chest as well. So a little something bit left of center for us, something that we don't normally do. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to chuck a link in the chat. If you want to jump on, have a quick chat with us and get something off your chest, jump in.
Didn't know we were doing this.
No, I didn't know either until just then.
Right. This is dangerous, bro.
This is
This is dangerous. Please keep your penises in your pants. Please.
I'll just hover over the exit button.
Jeez.
Yeah. Good point.
Watch Collingwood fans jump on.
Yeah.
Look, no. I think going back to what Andy said, what's worrying is the defensive structure now, with the defense pretty much decimated, right, with injuries, some coming back, some going out. It's not really going to help the defensive structure, I guess. But again, you got to do the next man up, and just hope Cincotta hopefully comes in, plays a role. Marchie, you'd think Marchie would come in as well over Young.
Cincotta's the one for me. Cincotta has to take his chance now. If he gets called up, which I'm pretty sure he will, he got taken out of the VFL side yesterday.
He didn't play. He didn't play.
Yeah. So, by the way, have we played many games in the VFL?
I think 3.
That's wild, man. That's wild. Because how many rounds are they in?
I think 4.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Oh, I thought they were like around the same as us.
I think our first game was a bye.
Yeah.
Well, they're one game behind us, behind the AFL, right? Well, they start one game later.
I have no idea.
1 week later.
It's round 3 at the moment.
Yeah, they didn't have opening.
Someone said playing 2.
They've played 2.
Yeah, 2.
Yeah.
We played North Melbourne and Collingwood and lost both.
How many rounds? 4?
That was the 3rd round.
Oh, that was the
21.
Round.
So 1 bye, and there was no open.
Yeah.
I watched a bit of the VFL game, and I reckon, obviously, Cincotta didn't play. Lewis Young is an AFL player. The only player in that side that looked physically ready for AFL, physically, I'm not talking about their game style or the way they played or anything like that, but physically ready, Lockie Cowan. He's probably the only player that looks like an AFL player from a physical standpoint.
Well, does he get a chance now?
He's played a few games, hasn't he?
Possibly. He has played a few.
He hasn't played this year, though.
No.
No,
Surely we're not going to.
I think injury got him out last year.
Once we I think we might have played that Essendon game or the week before, but when we had that run, he wasn't part of the squad. I think he was dropped.
I think Holland's kicked him out.
No, Cowan plays in the back line, doesn't he?
I think Holland's came in and took his role there. He was playing a bit half back on the wing.
We've got someone waiting in the lobby. We'll get him in. It's your mate Andy Morris.
Oh no, here we go. Got a lot to get off his chest, I'm sure. Look at that cute head.
Morris, how you going?
Hey, Morris.
Hey, boys, how are you?
Good.
How are you, man?
Mate, what can we say? No, not much. Just chilling. Andy, we had a little spill today.
We spoke.
Morris, I hope that's your thumb over the camera.
What's that? Yeah, I was going to say. Thank God for that.
I thought that's why he's doing things at 9 o'clock.
After dark.
Just quickly, I did see a comment in the live chat, mate. No, we did not go for drinks on the bar level. That is fake news.
He got me today. He goes, oh, did George tell you I saw him? I'm like, where? He goes, oh, at the bar at Marvel. I'm like, what do you mean at the bar? He goes, I had a beer with him. We had a beer at the. I'm like, at the game. He goes, yeah.
Fake news.
I asked him. I turned. Georgie, you almost got the most abusive phone call. What's going on, Morris? Talk to us.
No, mate. Look, are we in trouble? Absolutely not. Was it a loss that we shouldn't have had? Absolutely. Andy, you summed it on the head. things didn't go our way this week against Freo. That probably should have been our loss. Yeah. Look, trust the process. The one thing that does not get spoken about is Andrew Russell. Guys, I can tell you, I've spoken to ex-players that played under him. He is the best thing that's happened to Carlton in a long time, bar Vossi and that. He's probably the major reason why we went so deep last year. You got to remember, we copped some critical injuries last year. Our mids were gone. Harry was down. And that's where that next man standing was. And unfortunately, we got to a prelim last year and the boys just ran out. They ran their race. But Andrew Russell was a major factor in that. Look, you look at every other side, you're going to cut. There's small tissue injuries everywhere. One of the things that you can probably blame it on, surfaces. You know, you look at the Taylor Swift concert, the Marvel, they just spent 125 mil resurfacing that one end.
125 mil.
Yeah, on not the whole ground, just one section.
On grass.
On grass, yeah.
I would have got my uncle Abu Mahmoud to come do
it. Like what I'd have done, $500 cash.
Yeah, but go, like I was telling you, it wasn't Kerno that pit in that stuff. There was about 5 minutes. I got so dirty, it happened right in front of me. So I sit level 2, row A, on the 50.
Give you seat number 2 while you're there.
No, we won the ball on the wing opposite side of the bench. Harry led. Pitternet took O'Brien to the contest, and O'Brien takes a mark. Go to the goal square.
He can't get that far, bro. He was labouring to get to the 50.
Oh, I know, and even like one of the boys pointed out to me, like, you know, kudos to the small forwards. You know, they made AFL. You know, we didn't. You look at Durden. His man up until 3/4 time. I can't remember who was on him, but he was basically one of their best. Intercepted everything. Just worked off Durden the entire game. And I think, Amal, you hit it on the head. We're so bogged. Like, there's our forward, there's no you know, like, we've got an elite midfield. You know, use it. I think there was an instance where Boyd hit one of our forwards lace out, and it was like, where's this? Why isn't this happening more often?
We're missing Fogs in the forward line as well. To be honest, that pressure and keeping it in the forward line, they were exiting out too easily.
Yeah. But you know, you got to have your next man stand, your next man up. Like, I don't know, if I was always or Durden, with Motlop injured, Jack Martin still injured, you'd be saying, hey, you know what? If I don't put a few games together, I'm gone. And there's one thing I'll give on Fantasia. He's got a bit of class. I reckon you got to persist with him.
He's
like, there was
player.
There was an instance where he got the ball, he balked, and he hit a target. Where a lot of them won't do that. VFL, AFL, a lot of differences. Do you put the kilometers in his legs? So
I don't think he can handle kilometers in his legs.
Yeah, but Andy, he's a type. We make finals. He's probably he's got the knack to kick. The nous to kick 3-4 goals.
Yeah.
Where the others
When's the last time he kicked 3-4 goals though?
Oh mate, he's kicked 40 goals in the year. All right.
20 years ago.
No, when he was young. Yeah.
What's he done? What's he done in the last decade?
Okay. When he was younger, he kicked 40 goals. What's Durden done?
Hey, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Because Orazio at Durden's age kicked 40 goals.
Yeah.
Then his body broke down.
I'm with you. But like you just said, his body's broken down.
I know that. But when your body's broken down, sometimes you can fix it.
Hmm.
You know, look, it's not all doom and gloom. It's one loss,
not.
yeah, and we're going to... And the one theory that I've got, you know, we're all talking about our next 4 games are big. Well, you know what? Let me tell you something. I can categorically tell you that GWS, Geelong, Melbourne, and Collingwood,
Sydney.
Yeah, Collingwood and Sydney. They're all saying, hey, we got Carlton next week. We got Carlton this week. They know that we're not easy beats. And you know what? I'll come onto the show. I'll do something. I don't know. But I honestly reckon that we're a side that when we play the big sides, we play better.
We turn up, yeah.
Let's hope
You look at, like last year, Port, Collingwood, you have they come out with belters. And then the Gold Coast game, we were jittery up there. If you remember, Charlie had to save us in the last few minutes.
We're a different outfit, though, Morris. The way we played last year towards the tail end to what we're doing now and what we're dishing out is very different.
Oh, I know that, but it doesn't mean they can't go back to that style. Yes.
I hope, mate.
I just don't think that style is
sustainable. It's definitely not. And you've said it before. It's definitely not. It's a style. It's a final style of football.
It's a back end.
And if we can build up to that, fantastic. But the early signs are not heading in the right direction to that.
Correct. And everything's going. What our weaknesses were last year, they're our assets. And what our assets were last year, that's our Achilles heel at the moment.
Yep.
And I don't know, you fix that. And the one thing that, I think it was one of you boys said, you look at our midfield, you take that in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
We should be the hunted, not the hunters.
Yeah.
100%.
Team should be coming up against Carlton going, hang on a minute, how are we going to stop Cripps? Who are we going to put on this guy? How are we going to tag him? How are we going to get him out of the game? But at the moment, it's not happening.
I'll tell you why. Because our defense isn't in the defense. Our defense begins at halfback. And there's just space. Do whatever you want. Do whatever you want down the field. Do whatever you want. But as soon as the oppo gets that ball and gets that run, they are out.
Yeah.
We are incapable of having that space. We can't. It's almost like our game plan doesn't allow us for space anywhere along the ground. So except defensive 50.
There's no one there at all.
Yeah.
I don't know. Moose, do you remember when we were younger? Me and Moose played footy together for 20 years. We were always taught, right, to defend the game, right? You put a loose in the back line, put a couple of loose, put the whole team in the back line, right? Carlton has this thing where it doesn't matter if we're up by 5 or 50.
Neighborhood watch.
We just play like we're up by 50 at all times. Yeah. We always play like we're up by 50 points. And it's defensively, right? Except when Charlie goes down back or Harry goes down back, we always play like we're up by a few goals.
Agreed. But even then, and that's then a directive. Because as soon as Charlie or someone goes back, the directive is stop at all costs. Think about your next move,
Yeah. But even then, they highlighted on first crack. If you notice, when Charlie went back, he was on a man. If you go back, be there as the loose, be there as the spare. Mm-hmm. Take someone with you. Yeah, they said even one of the small forwards, bring them back with you to put a body on a guy. And there was a time where, if you remember, when Charlie went up, done the impact of the contest spoiled, and then Boyd knocked it out of bounds. So Charlie didn't have a free run at it as a loose man. He was on a guy. He was on a player. So if you're going to do it, have him as a pure loose and get a couple of players back. I mean,
Maybe Andy, just going back to what you said, you did bring back a fair few memories there. We always got done, unfortunately, got flogged. But maybe we go. Maybe Carl need to take a leaf of that and sort of go, just kick one goal, then just flood the back line. Everyone just go in the back line.
But how fantastic were we defensively last year? Like scores against were the best in decades. You know, we were shutting our teams. We were really, really well. Like, it's getting sucked in up the ground. It's not having, again, you know, it's been an uneven best back six, you know, in the back line. I don't know. It's about to be tested. This is the thing. It's about to be tested even more.
I'm not worried.
We're still in a good spot. We're still in a good spot.
I think we beat GWS.
Wow.
Yeah, I honestly think if we play our game on our terms, we win. I don't think there's not a team I'm afraid of. I'm actually not scared of any team anywhere. So put any team in front of us, and at our best, we win. If we kick 14-10, we win. If we kick 15-13, we win.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we just got to take our chances. If we take our chances, we win.
And Adelaide
we get enough ball. We get enough ball movement. We get enough chances. We get enough first hands onto the ball. Our defensive pressure is pretty good. Our defensive structure needs some work. Our transition has been pretty good all year. So there are so many positives. Like I've had so many people come in today, and it's all doom and gloom. And for me, it's no, man. If, like Carl said earlier, we get flogged by GWS, then okay, I wouldn't hit the panic button just yet. If we get flogged by Geelong, hit that panic button. I'm deleting my phone.
Screaming.
I'm deleting everything because our good friend,
you'll need to do that.
our good friend Macca is a big Geelong fan, and I can't have it. I refuse.
Look, it might not be time to hit the panic button just yet, but definitely some of the there's cracks showing in the walls that we've built around the PTSD of the last decade or two of being a Carlton supporter for sure. Let's get on with the votes. 1 vote, 2 votes, 3 votes. Georgie, I'll throw it to you first.
I'll give. This was a hard one, to be honest.
It is. It is.
1 to Pitter. No, I'll give 1 to Adelaide. And all day, I feel like he, you know, he's kicking. I think left something to be desired. You know, moments of that game as well. But I feel like he battles, his pressure acts. He's he's meters gained. He gets the ball off the ground. He runs. I just watch him sometimes. Him and Cottrell, but mainly him. If you just watch his movement. He doesn't stop, just trying to get from one side of the ground to the other. Reads the play well. I'll give him a 1. For 2, I'll give my 2 to Curnow. Look, 4 goals, 3. Again, he took 4 moments. He could have. There was 1 moment at the end. Obviously, if he took that mark, that's it. The game would have been nice. Again, you can't lay that squarely on him. He battled well all day, and to kick 4 goals, again, a very, very solid game. So. On your Charles, and 3
Walsh,
Mr. Dior, Sam Walsh, man, to come back from a long layoff, interrupted preseason, 34 and 13 tackles with when he was allegedly walking like an old man 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. So on your Walsh, honestly, man, he's aggression and the way he attacks the footy and the contest and stuff like that. It must be really motivating to his teammates because. He's not a big-bodied midfielder like your Cripps or your Kennedy or whatnot, but he puts himself in every contest. He's and what was great was he worked himself, like you said, Andy, into the game. The first quarter, he was probably getting a bit of the rust off and whatnot, but to finish with those numbers and just the way he played, 3 for me.
Petra Khan, 1 to Williams, 2 to Akers, 3 to Walsh, and Archie 1 to Hollands. 2 to Durden and 3 to Pitter.
Yeah, right.
Good one. Who's next? Bus.
1 to Charlie. What did he kick? 4 goals. Yeah. Charlie gets one.
Thanks, Wolf.
It's hard. It is a tough one. It's a tough one, especially on the back end of a loss. And I got a lot of questions, but yeah, 1 to Charlie, 2 to Blakers, and 3 to Walshy. I think he worked his way into the game, and welcome back. Hopefully he stays in the side, continues to build and gets that polish and hits a few guys lace out moving forward. But welcome back.
Nice.
Hit the jump in the chat and pop your votes in, but hit the like button if you haven't already done so. It's about 20 odd there, and there's about 60 views in the chat. It'd be nice. So thanks for a lot of you stayed on for the whole thing, so I really appreciate it, guys.
Yeah. Carl, over to you.
Look, mine are exactly like George's. 1 to Akers, Kerno, and Walsh. But I just want to say quickly, is it concerning that you've got Walsh that almost a couple of weeks ago they were saying could be a surgery, and then he's come out, he's had a game like that. You got these other players that are not showing as much interest.
Yep.
Did you say? Was it 13 tackles for a bloke that hasn't played all
Almost had
year?
back surgery. Yeah.
Yeah, and hasn't played
Hungry.
all year.
He's hungry.
Yeah. So
That's Walsh though.
Yeah,
That's what sets him apart, I reckon.
Yeah, but you've got others in the mid. You got Hewitt, you got Kennedy, you got Cripper. I'm not going to say anything about.
Where's the hunger from the others? I hope it's just. Yeah, I don't know.
Well,
Chera and Fogg.
let's talk
always
about
have-
that. Let's talk.
Chera and Fogg
Let's suss
tackle
out tackles. Sorry, bro. Walsh
off your chest now.
13. Hey, bro. Hewitt 7 tackles. Cripps 8 tackles.
It's almost double, but
And then, but bro, you're talking about Sam Walsh. Like he's
I know,
a
but
different
first
beast.
back, it's just
I think on paper, Carl, you're right. On paper, maybe the tackles were there and whatnot, but Adelaide were hungrier and they wanted it more, and they got to every contest first and were second to everything. You can't win a game second to everything, especially kicking 14 points. Anyway.
Yeah, well, we got the top 3 tacklers on the ground, right?
Because we were second to everything, that's why.
So
True.
yeah, I don't know. I'm not as worried. I'm not as worried. Yeah, I think it says more about Sam Walsh's beast mode than our lack thereof.
Yeah.
Automatic.
maybe they all need to take note then.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, look, what a great athlete to look up to. You know, so yeah.
Just want to win.
Carl, don't ever do that again. That lady, as you were walking out of Ledgers Loud, she had a heart attack.
When I was crying,
What happened?
I don't know what I saw. I just started.
Well, as we walked out, when they drew the, winning the footy and the Guernsey and whatnot,
Oh,
Carl
yeah.
walks out, and they check your tickets and whatnot and validate your membership. Carl walked down and did his crying thing like that, and she just looked at me and then looked at her friend and then just looked. She was about to chase him out. Is he all
I
right?
just want to win. Why can't I win?
Shit. As
You
Motta.
vote?
Paul Harvey in the chat. 1 to Charlie, 2 to Actors or Akers, and 3 to Walsh. Damien Lancaster, 1 to Harry, 2 to Charlie, and 3 to Walsh. Sam Mansour, 1 to King Charles, 2 to Akers, and 3 to Super Sam. And
Hello,
Nazi,
Uncle Sam.
1 to Akers, 2 to Walsh, 2 to Hewitt, and 3 to Walsh. Walsh taking the lead in the chat there.
I have my votes are like Damien's. I give Harry 1. I thought his work rate around the ground was great. His marking around the ground was great. His efforts, second efforts, third efforts. When our smalls weren't being smalls, he was, his second, third efforts inside 50 were great. 2 to Charlie. 4 goals. Did what Charlie does best. And Dior, Sam Walsh. He's just next level, man. I think I've always loved Cripps. Like Cripps has been my guy, but Sam Walsh, baby goat, is just he's so good. He's just so good, And there's always that comparison between him and Connor Rosie because the draft and And Connor Rosie's having
great
a
year.
ripper season.
Yeah.
And to be fair, he had a ripper last year as well. But I'd still take Walsh all day. And maybe it's just because he plays for Carlton. But Sam Walsh is just levels above most other players in the league.
He puts Rosie and Dacos in his back pockets.
Dacos is a dud, bro.
He's a wuss.
Butter boy.
Anyway, we'll talk about him
Uncontested
when it comes to
possession
Collingwood.
king.
Good call from Petra Khan in the chat. Not many Carlton players have played better in their first 100 games. Maybe Harms, Buckley, Southby. Diesel played about 108 games for the Blues, almost all sensational. But yeah, great call out for your first 100 games. He polled really well in the Brownlow a couple of years ago as well.
Best finals player in his first finals appearance as well.
Yep. But
He's
yeah,
built for the big time.
Yeah,
That's the thing. And this is what like doesn't worry me. It's a long season. You're going to have your ups and downs. It's never as good as it seems. It's never as bad as it seems. That's what coaches always tell you. So for me, we're just chilling. We're going to hit some losses. Going to get some wins. It's not going to be as good as we think it is. It's not going to be as bad as we think it is. All that matters is making it to the back end of the season, winning those 3 or 4 games at the end.
We're going to be we've got to make top 4.
We will. I'm still very confident we make top 4. I'm very confident in our second half of the season. Like, I'm not stressed. I'm actually not stressed. And I'm usually the one that's like really heightened, but just chilling, man.
Whatever you're on, give me double.
Shilajit, apparently.
Xanax.
Someone call Ed Kerno, book in the bonfire for the bye. Voss with the ice creams at quarter time.
Send us
Amal,
that.
your votes.
1 to Charlie, 2 to Akers, and 3 to Walsh.
Same.
Good.
Same.
Good stuff.
Same. A loss, yes. Was it a bad one? Yes, you could say it was. Our goal kicking really, really let us down.
Shout out to George. George, do you remember the moment? It was in the second. Was it in the second?
I'm scared now. What is it?
I know what
George
you're
looks,
talking about.
George looks over to me. Carl, do you remember the score at the time?
10-2, maybe something like that. 9-2.
Well, 10-2. And George looks over to me and goes, we've been kicking quite accurately, huh?
Oh,
game
there
over.
you go. You put the moz on us.
No, Georgie.
I think it was 10-12 after that.
We need
It was
to.
10-3. It was 10-3. I remember it because I looked up at the TV near us. I was like, hey, you know what? Pretty good.
No
I'm like,
drinking,
reverse it.
no drinking, and no talking, George.
You're not allowed to talk.
Oh, God.
Same
Musa,
time.
I was about to shout Musa out for something nice, saying, "Hey, credit for the headline today. Hamstrings and Heartstrings are very nice."
Oh, yeah.
Headline.
Yeah,
But you
great
know what?
headline. I want to give a shout out. Since we're giving shout outs, I want to give a shout out to the 8-year-old kid that kept making me stand up because he went to the bathroom probably 400 times. Young
that was
fella,
bad.
please,
That is
please
monthlies, I think.
empty the bladder at home.
The
To
fourth
mum and
quarter.
dad, stop giving him drinks. That did my head in. Because I had my radio. What killed me was I had my radio, right? But because it's Marvel, you can't hold it in a way like because of the
You got to
roof
get that
and
spot.
right? So I found a spot. I
And
tied
just
it up
watch like
against I tied it up around the barrier, the rail, right? So I wasn't even holding it, but it was tied up. But this kid kept walking past. Every 20 minutes, I'm ripping it off, ripping it back on. Young fella, empty the bladder at home, please. No drinks at the footy.
And halfway through the fourth quarter, it was just, I think, it was the 17th time he walked past, and Andy's like, "Mate, you're killing me. You're killing me."
Almost floor kicked the kid off level 2.
Good call.
Good show,
GWS
boys.
this week. GWS this week. It's the
Light
start.
work.
It's the start of a very, very,
Easy money.
maybe not very, very, but it's definitely a
10-goal win.
season defining period.
There's
It's
lots
definitely
of
not going to be
marbles.
10-goal win. Yeah, I'm a little nervous. I'm not going to lie.
How are you going to feel if we win by 10 goals? About
Right.
everything we spoke about tonight?
I will happily say that I'm wrong, and I had
Control
no
delete
reason.
this episode.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's it. You get rid of it off YouTube. No, if that happens, great. I was wrong, and I'm happy to be wrong. But I think any Carlton fan that has been following Carlton for a long time is well within their rights to feel a little nervous because the same story played out this time last year. Literally.
If we win by 10 goals, we're giving away a voucher to one of our viewers. That's what I reckon.
Done.
Carl's obviously cashed up. He's
Done.
What's the voucher?
Done. I'm with Carl.
To the footy shop.
To the Carlton shop. Yeah.
10 goals. It's got to be 10 goals.
10
10
goals.
goal win.
On the dot or more?
We're around there. We'll think about it. We'll see how we go.
Yeah, if it's around 10 goals, I'm down for that.
11 or 12.
How much are we going? $100?
Yeah, $100 voucher.
$100
shout.
300.
All right.
Amal, your shout?
No, I'm out. I can't hear you.
Ice creams only.
$100 voucher. We win by 10 goals. $100 voucher.
Yeah,
There you
coming.
go. The Monday
Nothing
Blues.
is coming.
The Monday Blues.
We lost them all.
All right.
Done.
Let's call it. For those
Paul
those that
Dixon
tuned in
just
for
said
this,
your
for the
voucher
episode,
is safe.
for those that tuned in, thanks for staying with us. Thanks for tuning in every week. 57 this tonight, which is really, really good to see. Thursday night will be the preview for the Carlton GWS game, and then the review same time next week. We will see you on Thursday night, and until then, it is sayonara from the Monday Blues. Thanks, gents.
Sicky now.
Cheers, guys.